Hi, this is Wasabi. Welcome back to the channel. This video is on a new battle mode called Brawl Mode. This was tested last year a couple of times, and Wargaming have now issued it as a new mode, and it will run for the 4 days from April 29 to the 3rd of May. Essentially, this is a 7v7 mode played with tier 10 tanks, and it's limited to tech tree tanks and collectors vehicles. And in case you don't have a tier 10 tank, there are 3 tier 10 vehicles that you can rent for the mode, but you can only play them in this mode. So have a quick look at the information about Brawl Mode. So first thing to note is that first only running for 4 days, and it's limited to prime times on each server. So 1 o'clock in the afternoon to 1 o'clock in the morning on both servers in their local times. So there's a bit of an overlap there. So Hong Kong server is 2 hours behind the Australian server. So you can get a bit of overlap there and play for a couple of hours longer if you switch servers. So first of all, Fog of War is the same thing as Clan Wars Fog of War, which means that at the start of the battle you don't know what tanks you're facing until they're spotted, and you don't know which players you're facing again until they're spotted. In case you get killed before that, it will come up in the post-battle statistics so that you will see who you played against. There's a feature called Key Position. So this is an area like the cap circle, but smaller than the actual cap base. And if you stay there for 15 seconds, then you can pick up some special abilities. To capture it, very similar rules to normal cap. That is, if you get damaged while you're there, it will reduce the capture points, and you have to stay there for 15 seconds to capture it. And if it gets reset, that you can't capture it again for 5 seconds. So makes it a bit more difficult, but if you get there before the enemy team and they're not around, then obviously you'll pick up these abilities, and those include Airstrike, Inspire, Recon, and Smoke Screen. Very similar, or the same type of things as you find in front lines. So I won't go into that detail. I'll leave the link to this article in the information below, and you need to activate those abilities, and if you don't activate them, you won't be able to recapture the key position. So that tells you that once you use that ability, you can go back and recapture that key position and get another ability to use again. In terms of rewards, there'll be daily missions available in the mode, and they will give you things like directives and things like that. The main rewards is basically a prize pool, which will give directives, personal reserves, credits, and a day premium account. And getting to the end, there will be a 2D style for the best players. So as with all these modes, you'll see it in the battle choices. So just choose Brawl Mode, and being a tier 10 tank, and you'll be able to enter the queue. And there's various rules here, but very straightforward. 7v7, tier 10 tanks only, or either tech tree or collectors vehicles, i.e. the ones that are in the store as collectors vehicles. And 10-minute battles, and it will be in encounter mode. So there will be only 1 cap per map for that. And there are no special achievements that you can earn, so you can't earn things like battle pass points or medals, but nonetheless, you'll have missions there, as I mentioned before, and you will get XP, but the XP is not the same as normal battles. Again, there's only 7 tanks, so it's not going to be the same as it. Map exclusion is not possible, so if you're using a premium account, you won't be able to use your map exclusion, but we'll just go through the maps in a second that are available. Anonymizer does work though. You can also go in platoons, and there'll be limits in the matchmaking to the numbers and types of vehicles and platoons as well. So only 1 platoon and 1 SPG per team but you can form dynamic platoons as you can in normal battles. So the maps include Siegfried Line, Miro, Lakeville, Ruinberg, Sand River, Redshire, Ghost Town, and Ensk. And the rental vehicles include the WZ111 Model 5A, T110E3, and the Object 140, and they'll be marked with a code which is WB. So if you see that in the battle, you'll know that those are rental tanks. That might indicate that the players don't have a tier 10 tank and may not be experiencing a tier 10, but that also may be misleading, because some people might say, well, if I go into battle with a rental tank, people think I'm an inexperienced player, and then they'll give them a bit of a shock. Anyway, we'll see how that turns out in battle. We'll have some gameplay come up after this. So the only other thing is, of course, you won't be able to use these rental tanks in random battles. Won't let you enter random battles. They will come with 100% crews and garage slots to cover them. Anything that you add to those tanks, like a normal tank, that will be returned to the depot once the Brawl Mode is completed. So that's basically the details of the game mode. Let's go and have a look at battle with the 808 from VidiClan. Okay, so here we are at the start of the battle. You can see Fog of War. There's no enemy details on the right side of the screen, so you can only see the players in your own team and what tanks they are. And you can see that most of the tanks in this battle are the rental tanks with the WB code on the end. But again, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're inexperienced players. They might have just not have that vehicle and be trying it out. So don't get overconfident if you see one of those tanks on the enemy side. 808 is in a T57, and there is a 60 TP, which again is a normal tech tree tank. So we'll see how this pans out. And as you can see, this is, as I mentioned before, this is an encounter map. Now, he spotted a Object 140, but he hasn't been spotted himself. And putting some shots into Object 2684, which again is a standard tech tree tank there. So just firing standard rounds at the moment. He managed to get one damaging shot in. And just finish his clip, and it looks like he'll try and go through his standard rounds first and then use his premium rounds at the end. So the team have decided the best thing to do is get close to the cap area. They don't want to be capped out. And you can see on the mini-map, just to the right of, let me just try and circle that with my cursor. Now it's a bit obscured by the name of the tank there, but that circle there is the special area that you can capture to get those special abilities. So as I said, if you go into that area and cap for 15 seconds, then you'll be able to get those extra abilities and then use them against the enemy team. So things like airstrike, etc. So if you had airstrike, you'd be able to hit that 268 version 4, even if he's behind a building, sort of thing. So it gives you those abilities. 808's not having much luck penetrating that tank. The 268 V4 has got some pretty hard frontal armor. So he's just looking for some mistakes that the enemy may find they're making. Object 140 there, that's one again, rental tank. But now he's basically consumed all his standard rounds, so switching to premium. So only a small amount of damage now. He's done just under 2,000 hit points of damage, and his team is one down. They're quite a bit of hit points down. In fact, just they're 2 tanks down now, back to 1 tank. So this game is fairly dynamic. This is one of the features of 7v7 mode. Just quite similar to the Premier League battles, although it's 5v5. But the smaller number of tanks means, yeah, you've got more space around you to play or to basically brawl together. So he's found the Object 140 there again, and just finishing off his clip. And I think he'll go after that 140, get rid of him so he's not getting into any crossfire. But so far that 140 doesn't seem to have done a whole lot of damage, at least not visibly. So 808's been spotted now, but he's got a pretty strong turret, so he won't take too much damage. And there you go, he does take a shot, but he can get rid of this 140, and there he does. And he wants to use his last premium round if he can, which he fires off but doesn't seem to connect. So that's taking him over 3k of damage. They're back to even now, only a small difference in hit points. And he's now having got rid of that threat of crossfire, he can come back into the area where they're all battling. So again, you can see on the mini-map that small square with a cross in it, that's the special abilities cap area, and you will get a visual indicator on the screen when he zooms out to show you where it is as well. He finally gets rid of the 5A there. Again, that's another rental tank there, and just taking a bit of risk sitting up on a hilltop. So, but he's now staying in cover while he's reloading. Again, this is an auto-loading tank if you're not familiar with the T57 Heavy, but yeah, he's bounced a heat round from the E100. And let's see if you can find the weak spots on the turret. Just go through the top of the turret there. And again, just pulling back into cover so that he's protected. So they're one tank up now, and slightly ahead on hit points. No, they're back to evens again. So quite a close match here, but 808 is determined to make the battle change. And using the comms there to work with the Object 140, and he's found the back of the E100. No, the E100 is not stupid, he's noticed what's going on. And he puts a big hit on. He's got the big gun, but that means he's got very long lead time, reload time I should say. And it's a good chance that 808 will be reloaded by the time he loads up again. And he's only got 4 premium rounds left, so he needs to make these count now. He's over 5,000 damage, and again the E100 bounces around off him. So he's going to go through the front of the turret here, I think. Yep, and the Object 140 finishes him off. So a good bit of teamwork there. So he's up to 6k of damage now. Just managed to rack the damage up there pretty quickly. But again, you can see how 7v7 works for quite a more dynamic mode than the normal 15v15 mode in random battles. So give it a shot if you want to try this mode. As you see, if you don't have a tier tank, you can get rentals. And if you can play like 808, you can be very successful. So it gets rid of his last standard rounds, and he's going to reload with HE in case he's needed. But he's taken that T110 E3 down to 1 shot, and that 140 will probably finish him off, which he does. So that's the end of the game, a 10-minute game, but finished in 6.5 minutes, and that's the result. Let's go and have a look at the details. So the results of this battle, he's earned 189,000 credits, so I'll have a look at how that came up. 2.3k of experience. That would be including the daily doubles. He's got, as you can see, no medals awarded in this mode, so it looks a bit bare, but it's very similar to Claymores and ranked battles there. 2 kills, but 7.3k of damage, nearly 7.4k of damage, and he managed to bounce 2 big hits from that E100. So finished on top for damage for his team, but the Object 140 he was playing with there did a reasonable amount of damage and got very similar experience. So you can see the experience is not really the point here, it's really just more playing for the fun of the game. And as you can see, it's only on for 4 days, so yeah, make the most of it. No impact on your battle statistics. So if you haven't played in tier 10 and you want to, this is a good way to do it. Or if you are a good experienced tier 10 player, yeah, you can get a lot of fun foxing people and using your skills to get a win. So hopefully this is useful to you. And again, if you like this video, please give this a like and subscribe, and like the video if you can. That will certainly help the channel. But anyway, again, see if you can try out this game mode, and you can earn some credits and see yeah, how to play tier 10s. All right, thanks very much for watching.